Most calcium advice is outdated and may be harming your health. Hi friends, we're here at Healthway Nutrition Center to discuss the importance of calcium dosage and why the advice many receive causes them to take excessive amounts of calcium. Before we get into the controversy, let's acknowledge what's already well agreed upon and not up for debate, and that is the recommended range of total calcium intake for adults. Here in the United States, adults are recommended to get roughly 1,000 milligrams of calcium, with occasionally dosages as high as 1,200 being warranted. This covers 99% of American adults, and again, this is what we all agree on. The controversy lies in when calcium dosage is being communicated both on supplement labels as well as in the doctor's office. We find that in either instance, very rarely is it brought up that we're of course getting calcium in our diet, and we should be taking that amount of calcium into consideration when deciding how much to supplement with, if any. Looking at the National Institutes of Health, we find that most Americans fall between 600 and 900 milligrams of dietary calcium intake daily. This average gives us a rough number that we can help form an initial opinion, but please note that in a perfect scenario, we should be working with a dietitian or a healthcare practitioner to best determine our average calcium intake. For those who are looking for a quicker answer, our estimate of 600 to 900 may be a good starting point. And of course, if you're feeling ambitious, keeping a food journal, weighing food, and tracking things may help you come up with a more precise number. In either instance, the heart of this message is that determining roughly your daily calcium intake is a very important step in determining calcium supplementation. Without knowing roughly how much you're getting, you don't really know how much to supplement with. And while we're certainly not going to pretend calcium supplements are dangerous in the sense that taking just a tiny bit too much is an issue, but if we go back to our scenario where most Americans get between 600 and 900, we can see where if somebody was already getting 900 and is then supplementing with another 1,000 milligrams, they're actually starting to get into the upper limit of calcium intake, the cutoff point in which clear side effects or health risks occur. Some of those health risks can include kidney stones, digestive problems, and potentially cardiovascular issues, including calcification of arteries. These are certainly not things that we want to find ourselves dealing with. So, as you approach these issues, we feel that there's 3 key points that need to change. 1, we'd like to see supplement labels as well as the messaging from healthcare practitioners be updated to better emphasize the importance of considering dietary calcium when determining total calcium intake and whether a supplement is needed. 2, and closely related, individuals need to feel empowered to ask their physicians or healthcare practitioners clarifying questions when calcium is brought up as a supplement. Too often, the physician is saying, oh, just follow the label, or perhaps they'll give the mantra of, hey, you need to get 1,000 milligrams, without clarifying that we should be taking the diet into consideration. Lastly, and perhaps most importantly for a forward-looking point, is when we look at calcium supplements, we here at Healthway would like to see complete supplements that are including vitamin K2, magnesium, vitamin D, boron. These products already exist, but in many instances, the amount of calcium is at 1,000 milligrams, and if you were to take less than that, you would also be getting less of some of those other important nutrients, such as vitamin K2, that research does not support taking less of, or rather is showing that those full potencies do have value, and we haven't found downsides to them. So those are our 3 points. We want to see the messaging change from the manufacturers and the physicians. We want to see people be more empowered to ask clarifying questions and gently challenge casually given advice. And lastly, we want to see a greater priority on modest calcium intake that's appropriate to get you to that 1,000 milligram goal, but still having full strengths of other ingredients which research supports those full strengths in. We hope you've enjoyed this video. We encourage you to reach out to our team here at Healthway and Remember, you can always find us at healthwaynutritioncenter.com for your shopping needs, as well as blog articles covering subjects just like this.